All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Poke Plaza. It is now 2025 and Happy New Year's to you all. We're going to start off this year. We've done a couple pack openings already. Pulled the 151 Squirtle, did some Silver Tempest, didn't really pull anything, but we are kind of back to business as normal, and that is trying to make the business as normal as possible. Now, 2025 is going to be I think it's going to be a great year. I'm excited to see what happens. That being said, there's a lot of things about this year that some people might not know. I mean, who knows if I even know it. I don't know. I take everything I say with a grain of salt. I've only been doing this for about a year or so now. But we're going to go ahead and talk about some things. So let's switch it on over. All right, we are in 2025. This is Pokemon in 2025, and one of the things we're going to be talking about is product availability, because this is going to be an issue for some people. I know it's been an issue for me so far, not even so much just for 2025, but even the last couple weeks of 2024. So, Pokemon is getting popular. The Pokemon market, the IP, it's probably one of the biggest booms we've seen in a long time. Even when we're talking about the 2020 pandemic, the 2016 Pokemon Go, even when Logan Paul popped in, it's getting huge. It's getting big. It's getting popular. Stores, they're being wiped out same day as restocks. Products are being stolen. This seems to be pretty across the board in a lot of the groups and discords I'm in. At the very least, it's definitely the case in my local area, the Miami, Florida, South Florida area. Even modern, some of these lackluster sets that were really not that sought after are now starting to rise up in price, like your Paradox Rift, the Scarlet and Violet base set. These things are just kind of, they're all getting popular. Everyone's just looking for product right now. So what does this really mean as a consumer? We said before that these stores are being wiped out. For one, it means the number one most thing it means is that prices are going to increase because prices are going to increase simply just because of supply and demand. There is way more demand for product than there is product available. And for the longest time, nobody was really trying to go to these big box retailers because nothing was selling for MSRP. But now, if you go on like a TCG Player, a lot of these things are selling for above MSRP, especially when we're looking at these newer sets like Surging Sparks, Prismatic Evolutions, Twilight Masquerade. All these products are becoming way more sought after now, and now the price at these big box retailers like Walmart, Target, all these places really aren't that bad. 151, Well, what else does it mean? If if you're not already into Pokemon, it could be hard to get into it, or it might be hard to encourage people to get into it, because who's going to want to join a market where everyone is scalping the stores and the only way to get product is by paying more than what you can buy it for at Target? That was the whole reason why I started this business, is because I had access and I was able to sell it for less than what we could buy it in the stores, which is one of my biggest selling points. Now, for the most part, I try and stay true to that, but it's definitely kind of hard. Like 151, there's no way you're gonna be able to sell 151 for less than what you can buy it for inside of Walmart, Target, because the market prices are just that up there. I can't even buy it for that anymore. This month's 80% is last month's 100%. Over the last month specifically, Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet, all these sets have increased pretty substantially. We've pretty much seen increase in prices all across the board for pretty much all sets. These are just a couple examples. So around the beginning of December, Stellar Crown was selling for about $115 to $120 a booster box. As of right now, the market price is about $145. Same thing for Paldea Evolve. We've seen Paldea Evolve get crazy just over especially about 6 months ago. It was even less. I know websites that were selling these booster boxes for $89, $90, or about $100 a booster box. And now, as of last month, we thought it was getting really big because it was getting sought after. Everyone wants that Magikarp. It was up at $140, and now, starting this month, it's at $190. And this is these two sets this is kind of where it made sense, or like where it kind of spoke to me. I had a friend who got hit up about buying a bunch of product, and they were about a bunch of sealed product, and he doesn't really deal with sealed product too much. And they made an offer. The seller wanted 85%, and he's sending me the prices over the whole list, and I'm like, that seems pretty intense. And then yeah, I went and looked it up. December 1st, Fusion Strike was about $280 a booster box. As of right now, it's $440. That's crazy. That's over it's over like $120 increase, more than that, and it just doesn't make any sense. And now Evolving Skies is reached up over $1,000 a booster box, which is just crazy. The biggest chase card you're going to be able to hit to make your money back, if you don't hit multiple, alternate arts, like Rayquazas and, some of the other things, or the other evolutions, is that Moonbryon. If you don't hit that Moonbryon, I don't see how you're going to be justifying $1,000 a booster box for that. It just doesn't make sense. And the price for that Moonbryon is also jumping up. I want to say, like, raw, it's going for like $1,400 right now, and a PSA 10, I think one of the last souls were like $2,000, $2,500. It's pretty nuts. And it's not just these specific sets. We've pretty much seen increases all across the board, at least by $10, $20. Even some of the not so popular sets like Scarlet and Violet Base, Paradox Rift, all these sets are starting to jump up in price. What does it really mean for store owners? And, you can take what I say with a grain of salt. I've only been doing this for about a year or so now, coming up on it. I've had a bunch of fun doing it. It was great. I didn't start this business because it was the most money profiting type situation. I promise you, it's definitely not, but at the end of the day, what does this mean for store owners? And I'm not answering this as everyone's point of view. This is more just kind of my point of view and what I'm looking at. And for store owners, this could be a real tough year, or at least the beginning of it is going to be pretty kind of tough. A lot of distros are out of product because everyone wants these products. You might be okay if you were holding product, if you already bought product and you're able to buy it at a low enough price, and now you can sell it at 100%, well, 80%, which was last month's 100%, like I just said. So new product is going to be tough to get on the English side of things at the very least. Also, this part really hasn't changed. It's going to be a lot harder to compete with some of these bigger stores, these other established store owners who already have distribution, who already have connections like these. They talk to game stores. They're able to help these stores fill out their allocations. And it's going to be a lot harder to compete with them. It's going to be probably a lot harder, or maybe it could be easier. We've been seeing a lot of, online store owners get access to distribution, but at this point, there's so many other sources. Like I said, you can talk to game stores who might need help filling their allocations. There's other websites that are doing wholesale programs now, where you pay a monthly fee and you get pretty close to distribution price. But it's at this point, nothing's really available. You're looking at like Battle Academy, the Paldea Chest of like these products that nobody really wants. And it's just going to be really hard to kind of compete, because even if you do get distribution, unless you're spending a decent amount of money, you're not going to get the sought after product that you want, because these distributors are going to be prioritizing the people that have been with them the longest, that are spending the most money. So yeah, it is going to be a little bit tough, I think, in the beginning of this year. Not to mention, if you're starting out, you're not going to have access to distribution. I definitely don't. I rely on a supplier, someone that does have access. But I've seen already there's been a cut down of allocations from even way established people that have had their distributors long, for a good bit of time. And if your supplier can't get good allocation or good pricing, then you're not going to have good product availability or even the best pricing. So, if your supplier's getting cut down, you're going to have to get cut down. I'm getting cut down. It's just what it is. So these market prices are changing. You just kind of have to adjust with what it is. It's kind of one of those things where now might not be the time to be buying and holding product. You might want to just kind of buy, churn and burn, and try and push out product as fast as you can, so you can keep up profiting. And because odds are, if you're buying product now to sit on it hoping it's going to go up, or if you're buying product now and you can't move it out fast enough, there's a possibility that the market prices are going to increase, and or there's a good possibility it could decrease as well. I'd assume it eventually will kind of come down once we get over the big crazy sets that are releasing, like Prismatic Evolutions, the Battle Partners, the Team Rocket sets. All these are going to be super hyped up, and I can see prices, kind of jumping up. After that, I'm hoping, and again, take everything I take everything I say with a grain of salt. But I'm hoping, a couple reprints will come in. Some of these sets are gonna kind of chill out. And then this is kind of where I'm going to end it off. My plans for the year, it will get better. I'm pretty new to this, as I've said a couple times. This is my first year running this. So, I could have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, So like I said, don't take anything I say super, super serious. Currently, all these new sets are super popular. Surging Sparks, Prismatic Evolution, Battle Partners, Team Rocket set, hopefully we will see some reprints from some of the Scarlet and Violet sets, which will make the prices, or will whatever, even besides the prices, hopefully it'll make the product easier to obtain, because that's my problem right now. A lot of these booster boxes, ETBs, it's hard to get at a decent price where you're still able to profit without charging, without overcharging and spending or selling and feeling bad about overcharging for a lot of these products. I don't want to break the bank. Last year I started off with Japanese products because I didn't have connections for decent enough English products. And at the time, the first product I did was Paldean Fates or Shiny Treasures EX, and the prices were really high. I want to say when I was looking at, they were selling like $70-$85 a booster box, which is kind of like what Terrestrial Festival, the Japanese version of Prismatic Evolution, is doing right now. And I bought in kind of at a little bit higher price, and then about 2 or 3 months later, not even, the prices dropped. I didn't have enough customers. I didn't have enough sales revenue. I wasn't going to the shows, so I was really kind of relying on like eBay and very few people that I met to come out. But I lost a bunch of money on that because of that price drop. Now I don't really see that happening as dramatic with Terrestrial Festival, because as good as Shiny Treasures was, Terrestrial Festival is pretty awesome. It's an amazing set. It's super popular, and I don't see it kind of dropping down that low. But I do think that the prices hopefully will kind of come down a little bit. I don't know by how much, but I'm hoping to see a little bit. As of right now, it looks like it's just growing and growing and growing as far as Terrestrial Festival goes. But we will see. I do plan to maybe start carrying more Japanese product if obtaining English at a decent price is going to get, or doesn't get any easier, and it stays kind of difficult to get a hold of. I probably will start ordering more Japanese product, but we'll just kind of see how it goes. And this is the end. This is where I'm kind of talk about. Originally when I first started this, we hopped on and we saw all these people doing it. I wanted to be like Brian from Pokiani, fantastic channel. He kind of basically shows you how to do it. But that's what you want to do. You want to be able to order the product, list them on a website, have people come to your website, and just ship them out from home. But honestly, I'm pretty bad at the whole website thing. I don't know how to fix the SEO type stuff, and I'm really busy with family life and work. So I don't really have the time to build up a website. And for the last year, I've had my website up and running, and I've had about 3 sales in total. One of them was for me because I needed to test something. But I've had 2 real sales on the website, and they were not only that, they were from the same person. But it's just, for me, it just doesn't look like it's worth it to keep paying that monthly premium to accept payments when I'm not accepting payments. I think it's something like $40 a month, and I've been paying $40 a month for probably 12 months now, and I've received 2 sales. So it doesn't seem worth it for me to keep that up and running. That being said, I'm going to keep the website up. I'm going to be trying to update it as much as possible. I'm just not going to be accepting payments on there. So if you do go on there, message me, hit me up. You can check out my Instagram, the Facebooks, all those things, and you can write me out, and I can write you invoices, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, all those things I'm still taking. But I'm probably not going to be accepting payments on there for now, just because it's just not worth the money for the amount of money that I'm bringing in, more or less not profiting money. It's just not worth it for me to keep the website up. That being said, I'm still pretty active on the Collects app. I've talked about it before. It's a phone app. It's an app on the phone. They mainly do lots and lots of sports cards, but there is a growing Pokemon community on there, and I've been doing pretty well on there, listing and selling packs, and individual cards seem to be doing real well as well. Also this year, I'm going to be trying to be more active on Whatnot and Drip as far as streaming goes. It was pretty fun. I just had I had a difficulty time setting it up because the internet really wasn't great where I was at, so I had to move out, or I had to set up a new location every time I wanted to stream, and then it was a lot. But I finally got some decent internet in this place, so I'll probably be able to do it on a more regular basis. It but I've also got to, I'm not one of these people that have, thousands and thousands of dollars of inventory all the time. I move out a product very slowly, and when I have a lot of shows coming up, and we're in a place in the market right now where it's hard to find product, I don't necessarily want to go on and do these streams and then not have the product to do these actual shows. So that's part of the reason why I want to do Japanese product, because I can get Japanese product pretty easily. So I do plan to be more active on Whatnot, and I might even start a drip account. I've been seeing lots of cool things about that. See how that community is, how that layout is. But other than that, I'm still trying to do these in-person shows, and some of the places where you can find me, like right here. This is the Dolphins Sunset Soiree. This takes place in Key Largo at Dolphins Plus Bayside every month on the second Tuesday. So I will, as far as I'm aware of, I will continue to have a table there and show up there. So you can always find me there. January 26th, I will be hosting my first event again down in Key Largo at Bayside Jiu-Jitsu. Thank you to Coach Brandon for letting me use his studio to be able to host this event. It's going to be fun. I think it's going to be great. It's a new turnout. It's my first event that I'll be hosting per se. I calling it the Key Largo Minicon. It's probably going to be more like a pop-up shop, but I'm gonna have a couple other vendors out there. Barely Demp Gunpla is gonna be there selling cool anime figures and models and statues, Gundam models. Gonna have my wife. She's gonna be there selling her artworks. We're gonna have little crochet. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be the first event I do. It's gonna be the first event that I've done. So please come and support that if you can. At least share the page and stuff like that. I'm going to be posting more information about that as we get closer to the date, even though it's really only, it's January 6th today, so there's only 20 days left. It's on, I want to say, the last Sunday of the month, so please check that out. And then we did it last year. Was my first in-person event that we ever did, was Metropolis Comic Store, Metropolis Comics over in Homestead at the Florida Keys Outlet Mall. They hosted their first Homestead Con, and it was fantastic. I had a great time there. We did great. That was like the first day I ever thought of. I went through pretty much the whole year going into September, and that was the first day that I actually saw any sort of real movement as far as sales go, which really kind of got me wanting to do more physical stuff. Because like I said, I wanted to be home, just kind of ship the products out, but that just wasn't happening. So they already announced that they're doing 2 events this year, and they've upped it from 1 day to 2 days. It's going to be a Saturday and a Sunday. So far, I'm planning on attending both, but we've just purchased our table for March 8th and March 9th, so you can absolutely expect to see us there. And we'll continue to be a part of them as long as they continue to have us. Other than that, this is what it is. This is kind of where I'm at in this 2025 Pokemon market and what my plans are. And I can't wait to see what happens next. Thank you guys for watching up. Check out all the events. Follow the page. It means the world to me. And we will see you guys in the next one.